Oh, look! I didn't even realize this before we started. Nick got his no fam shirt on,
I
rightfully
already
so.
know.
No
I
fam.
waited just for the night for this, man. I've been having this laid
Oh,
out too.
he had it like for his first day of school.
Yeah. Had to
But
get
as
right
y'all
to
see,
it.
there will be no low tonight. Little man is not feeling well, so she had to be a mommy first. So she might pop up in the comments. Who knows? But she would just be me and Nicholas tonight. We got a nice little show for y'all. We got conference tournament stuff. We got um player of the year conversations. Well, national player of the year ain't came up yet, but player of the year stuff is coming out, and woo, it's been especially with the SEC for sure. It's been
Yeah.
some arguments. We got Unrivaled. I don't even know what week this is. Unrivaled. That's going on no more. But the
I
playoffs is
think
about
they
to start.
said I think they said it was like week 6 or 7, which is crazy.
That's
I
that,
didn't think it was that long. It started like what,
man.
January 17th, I think. That was the date that it started.
And that's when that started. Damn,
Yeah.
we almost at the end with that shit. Uh, Athletes Unlimited just ended. That shit is that only
Mhm.
a month long?
Yeah, well, I think it started like early February, and then it
Yo,
just ended.
that's a good check though. That's a nice little check. You only
It
get the
is.
hoop for a month and you getting paid that? What they was getting?
Mhm.
Like, even if you getting paid 90,000, you get paid 90,000 for
That's
a
good
month.
money. To hoop?
Right, right. Damn. You don't even gotta wait down. You ain't even gotta be hooping for 3-4 months. Just, 1 month
Exactly.
in Nashville, not a bad city either. So it's like you only there for a month and you get to, man, that's
And there's a
okay.
lot of stuff to do out there too. I mean, I used to live in Nashville, so I know. So
It's a
even on
lot of
off
shit to do.
days, you can go do a lot of
Yes, it's
stuff.
a lot of shit to do. It's a lot of shit to do out there. So, but man, yeah, welcome back to episode 29 of the Best Damn W Show. I'm Jay. That's Nick Andre. There's no low. I know y'all. I know how y'all be when low don't be popping up for shit, especially for playbacks. Hey, real quick, y'all was kind of disrespectful though when she wasn't coming up to the playback. Sometimes you coming in only asking for her and shit. Like, hey man, chill out. But y'all
Man,
got
Lo,
better though with that.
I keep telling y'all, Lo is a damn superstar, man. She the star of the show, man. We just the backup singers, dog. That's
Man,
really what it is.
they love when she there. But I'm sorry we didn't come yesterday, man. I needed a mental health day. I almost took one of them today, but we here. We're gonna get through this. I love talking hoops anyways, man. So we got a lot of shit. We got tournaments going on. We're gonna start. This is where we're gonna start, man. Because Nick did an update to the show rundown, and I like where he was starting at because, like I said, there's a lot of how people feel about the National Player of the Year. The Athletic did they National Player of the Year, and Juju won. But the question is, Nick got for us is: should Player of the Year be based on stats or impact?
That's a
I,
really good question, honestly, man. Because I mean, me, and Lo were all talking like this past weekend, and especially after what we saw Saturday night with old girl at USC, we was like,
oh, girl.
yo, we was like, yo, like give her the award, like what we doing here, man? But I don't know. It's real tricky though, honestly, because there's been a lot of great players this year. I gotta admit, like I'll be real. Like, I think overall this women's basketball season, like it's been as wide open as it's ever been. Not even just team wise, but player
Bro,
wise.
I
Like
can't even think the last time it was just wide open.
exactly, like there's so much talent, both team wise and like individual player wise, where you like awards can literally go to anyone. Like I mean,
Yes.
we're even going to dive into it later, like as far as like conference tournaments and NCAA tournaments, but I know all year long the National Player of the Year race, it was Hannah Doggo, Lauren Bez, Juju Watkins was in that conversation as well. Those are really the main three. I could add in players like Tanaya. I could add in players like
Yeah.
Peyton Vickers. Like, I mean, there's a lot of great players, honestly. And I understand like if like I can understand like where people are coming from whenever they pick who their favorite is. Like for instance, like Hannah Doggo has been many people's favorites, and even throughout most of the year, she was my personal favorite, just because
Mm-hmm.
not just because of how well Notre Dame was and just her being the leading factor, but when you look at how she was able to perform against a lot of the top teams, she was performing at a high level. Like we saw her. I mean, hell, we were on playback when she went up against USC and like had a really great game there.
Yeah.
Then she went up against UConn. She had a double double against them. So like we've seen her show up not only like all season long, but against like a lot of the top teams in the country, and a lot of them were top 10 teams in the country, not even just like top 25, top 10. So when you look at it from that aspect, and then you look at how much she's improved just as an all-around player and all-around defender, in my opinion, she was favored throughout most of the season for National Player of the Year. Then you can go to UCLA. You look at Lauren Betts. UCLA was undefeated throughout most of the year until they lost that first matchup against USC. Lauren Betts was putting up crazy numbers, averaging a double-double, and pretty much really the focal point, the number one option behind UCLA's success. And there was a lot of people that were making an argument for it. And like, when you look at it from a numbers standpoint, you can't argue that. So I definitely give credit to Lauren Betts in this type of season that she's having. But then you look at Judea Watkins, and I gotta break it down like this, man. So I'll be real. Juju automatically in that conversation just based off of the season that she's having. But we also got to put into the factor of her team is not necessarily gelled throughout this season the way that they could have. Now, look, like when you look at it like from a number standpoint, and when you look at it, I know you see Lo. When you look at it from, when you look at it from a number standpoint, when you look at it record wise, like you would think like USC is definitely like the top team in the country. I mean, especially with them winning Big Ten Player of the Year, but we've all watched them. Like they have not always gelled. They have not really built that chemistry the way that we expected them to heading into the season. But still, somehow the way Juju has been able to keep that team afloat. I mean, let's be real, she's been the most consistent player all season long. And I'm not saying that she's always had a good game. I mean, she's definitely had some inefficient performances, but as far as showing up every single game, Juju has been that X factor for them, being that leading factor for them. So you look at it from that aspect, and on top of that, beating who many people believe it was the best team in the country in UCLA, not once but twice, and averaging around 30 points in both of those matches. And I think she had like 3-4 blocks even in this previous matchup on Saturday. I'll be real, man. I mean, that's my favorite, honestly, man. And I even said it too. I think Wally, you got the clip? Pull up that clip, Wally, if you got it. I think it was that win and has the same type of game that she had. I don't give a fuck what Hannah been doing.
She wins National Player of the Year. I'm with you, Nick. I knew where you was going with that.
You know what, Nick? You know what, Nick?
I'm going.
Hannah and Betts ain't been doing it. Hannah and Betts ain't been doing it lately.
Right in their crib and do the same thing that she did in the last game. Oh yeah.
I might have to agree.
I'm with you on that.
I'm not even might. I agree. If Juju walked to the other side of LA, walk in their shit, snatch their chains. Okay. Yes. And if it's like the Juju show again, not her. I mean, even if her teammates help a little bit, because where was y'all last game? But you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's the Juju show again and she walking into UCLA, snatching their chains and going back to the crib with it, oh yeah.
And guess what, Lo? She did just that too. And
Jay
called it. Jay called it too, because like Jay pretty much said it from the get-go, like it's a sweep.
Oh yeah, like, I tell you, I saw it coming. I'm like,
yeah, it was crazy. I was like, I agree with you, but I'm like, I don't know, because like even in the first matchup, we all picked UCLA. But
we did for sure.
Crazy, and just ended up getting that win. But then she was able to do it again on their home floor. To me,
UCLA guards ain't shit. I mean, I won't say they ain't shit, but they just don't show up, man. They just don't.
No, they don't, honestly. But to me, I gotta go with Judea as far as National Player of the Year. I mean, it's tough because Hannah's been having a good year. Lauren Betts been having a good year as well. But when you talk about like just like single individual performances, and then of course just putting the team on her back on a consistent basis the way that she did throughout this year, I gotta go with Juju. That's just my opinion. I mean, you can go either way, but I'm going Juju.
I'm looking at the comments. They saying UCLA coach is bad. Then y'all think Corey Close is bad?
I'm not gonna say she bad, but I'll be real. She is looking kind of funny over these past couple matches because, like, and it's crazy. I didn't even watch the game live. I was out Saturday night, so I didn't watch the game live. But I was just keeping up with the box score, and I was looking in the middle of third quarter. Lauren Betts only had 4 points.
Yeah,
how was your best player only have 4 points in a matchup like this? And then I had to go back and watch the game. Literally not enough, honestly. But
we haven't even talked about her. You know, I never even brought her up, but she is not that. She definitely needs to get looked at sideways because Lauren don't get the ball enough for sure. So,
I feel like it's a combination of them not giving her the ball and her not demanding it enough. Like, you got to understand, you're the best player on the floor, especially when you're going I mean, especially when you have like a height matchup and a size matchup against Rhea Marshall and Kiki Iriafen, you got to demand the basketball.
No, yeah, you got to
Like,
demand
literally.
it. You got to demand it, and she definitely don't. The comments going crazy. No adjustments. Barker kept going under the screen while Juju was torching them. This is true, and it is hard to beat a team 3 times. Like we do expect both of these teams to make it to the Big Ten championship on Sunday, but that is going to be it's going to be a wild ass game because they lose 3 times. But before I even go into like all of that, I'm gonna just go back into our question. I think it should be both. Like stats and impact does matter, but I think a lot of times, and I was talking with somebody this on Twitter, is that like conversations like polls and player of the year shit, like the different awards, that's just conversation shit for us. But a lot of times these voters, they don't vote until the end of the season. So when you having your worst games at the end of the season, a lot of times these voters be locked in. Like we be locked in from the beginning. A lot of times these voters be locked in at the end of the year at these players. So you see Hannah had a bad stretch. You know what I'm saying? Like 3, it might have been like, and a lot of people didn't even realize Hannah was having a bad stretch because they was blowing teams out. So you don't even know. So then she getting garbage points. Like she played bad against Duke, but if you go back and look at her stat line, she ended with like 19 points, but it wasn't like that all game.
It wasn't that good of a game. I remember what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you look back at shit like that, so if you just box score watching, you're gonna be thinking like Hannah is dominating. And she really wasn't. Like that shit was like garbage. Because like in the third quarter, Notre Dame was beating the shit out of teams already. The game is already over with. So now they're getting garbage points. So it's like it make it like she's doing something. And then Lauren Betts, she's been having okay games. And they ain't even been playing that great of a teams either. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's the point that we gotta make too when it comes to these teams as well.
Real quick, do y'all think that's part of the problem as far as when it comes to the media and them not consistently watching games throughout the entire season like that?
I agree. I mean, it's recency bias, honestly. I mean, and I guess you could say mine is recency bias too, because I literally just changed mine and I picked Juju to win. But then I also had to look at the whole season overview. Like Hannah's had Olivia Miles next to her. She's had Maddie Westbo. She's had Sonia Citron next to her. Consistent X factors
coaching
on her team who has been able to bring it on a night-to-night basis. When it comes to USC, you don't know. Like, I mean, as talented as Kiki Iriafen is like she hasn't played as consistent all season long as she may have did like in her previous couple years at Stanford. Same thing with players like TVO. Same thing with players like even like Kennedy Smith, who was coming off of an injury. I mean, Kennedy Smith has been playing really well all season long, but not from a scoring aspect, like as efficient, honestly. And I know that some people may look at Kiki's numbers because I mean I don't know if her numbers really dropped off a lot compared to what it was last year, which was at Stanford. But when you watch the games, it's not the same impact, honestly, not on a consistent basis per se. So Juju has been literally having to put that team on her back on a nightly basis and still being able to lead them to wins, honestly. So I think people got to look at it from that standpoint. And I agree with you. While I feel like people probably don't watch the games or they don't really look at like the whole season, because I even talked about this too, like with somebody I know, like because people only look at like highlight reels, like they only look at like 30-second clips. They only look at 2-minute clips of like highlights of like somebody drop at 30, and they think like, oh yeah, like this is it, like this is like the best player in the world, or oh this is like one of the best teams. But you got to watch the whole game to really analyze like how a team really plays or how a player really plays. Because when you look at these highlights, you're not seeing the weaknesses. You're not seeing like you're not seeing the turnovers. You're not seeing the blown layups. You're not seeing the missed assignments on defense. So I think people need to really start locking it in more on really watching the game and really studying it compared to like actually like just looking at what they see on Twitter or what they see on YouTube.
No, that's a great point because all you do is see stuff like all you do is see is highlights. So then you see people like even like what's the young lady name from Duke?
Ashlyn or no, excuse me, what's her name?
Richardson.
Reagan Richardson.
Ashlyn like Jackson. She had a really good game, right? A really good game this last game they played. And people was like gassing her up, rightfully so, she's good. But then I had to tell people, bro, she ain't scored in double digits, but like twice all year. So it's like if you go off that one game, and this is going back like to my highlights, you would think she was like this all year round if you just look at this last game, and she's not like that. So I'm seeing people even like picking Duke to win the ACC tournament.
Bro, I was talking with somebody yesterday. They picked Duke to win the ACC. I'm like, what? You're picking Duke to win the ACC tournament? Like, and look, don't be wrong. I think Duke has what it takes to get far in the tournament.
Yeah, yes.
Like, when it comes, like,
yeah, we're not saying that. We ain't saying that.
Exactly. Like, I think they're a really great team. I mean, hell, I can't say no. They just beat Florida State on Sunday, but also, like, you still got to put talent into the factor, though. And they're just not as talented as the Notre Dames and as the NC States, respectfully.
They can, but it's balanced, dog. Like, I just don't. You gotta. When it comes to this Player of the Year stuff, and that's why a lot of people don't realize. Like I said, the voting don't happen to the end of the year. That shit don't happen until last Sunday. This week they did all they voting, so. It's hold on. I think we had to be careful when comparing the talent and the bigger load, but people forget that freshman class in LA was no one freshman class coming into this year. Talent is there.
No, I mean that's true. That is true.
That's definitely true.
Because I mean, Olivia was hurt last year. Maddie was hurt. Actually, Maddie missed like the first portion of the season.
She did. They do live and die by Hannah producing.
No,
I don't know. I don't know, like, chat. I'm gonna ask y'all, like, who y'all national player of the year? It can go different ways. Like, if it's Juju who win, I ain't gonna be mad. Of course, if it's Lauren Betts, I ain't gonna be mad. If it's Hannah, I'm not gonna be mad.
I mean, there's a lot of talented players this year.
It's a lot, and they all three they've had low moments, and they've all had really high moments. You know what I'm saying? So, and the problem thing with Hannah, what's killing Hannah is Hannah big moments. That shit happened before Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? When you think about, like, that's when her last big moment really was. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's a good point though, because like, when was like Hannah's like last? I mean, look, not saying she's had bad games since then, but like, what was her last like big standout performance like that? I want to say
UConn.
It had to be UConn.
That shit was before Christmas.
Yeah, it was
like a couple weeks before Christmas, man. So it's like, yeah. Hannah had her stretch of the worst time. So like Hannah's having this terrible time. Like I said, people ain't really notice it until they lost to Florida State because they was beating everybody ass up to that point.
I would probably say the NC State game. Like I think that was a terrible game. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, they had yeah. Hannah fake. Oh, I don't want to go all that. I'm not gonna say all that. And they were all on that. Yeah, right. Look, that's another thing. Hannah's bad games was definitely on. You had College Game Day was at NC State. Then you go to Thursday. It's another ESPN game. You lose that game. Luckily, y'all they beat Louisville. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't even play that well that game either.
She didn't play well. She had a better game, but she still didn't play well that game either. So, and they would just end up blowing Louisville out. So you really can't even tell. You know what I'm saying? It's not a close game. So, and now Juju just having a great time. Like, she got her rest. You know what I'm saying? She got her rest from all of them back-to-back. They didn't play a home game for like a month. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
so
it was all on the East Coast.
Yeah, all on the East Coast and everything like that. So, but then she got back home and she's been having a great stretch. And then a lot of people, and you got to go into the fact, storylines matter. People have been saying UCLA is the best team. The best team. My problem is hand gambling and shots like, oh yeah, all the time.
But that's why I was also even suggesting, like, why not? I mean, because I feel like Olivia's a better playmaker than Hannah anyway. So why not put Hannah more off ball? Because I mean, let's be real, Hannah for the most season has been the lead guard for the most point, and not necessarily Olivia. I mean, look, Hannah's definitely incredible with the basketball in her hands, but I mean, Hannah's clearly shown that she's she's been like the number one scorer compared to Olivia. So why not allow Olivia to be the lead guard and set up the half court offense, and then allow Hannah to play off ball?
I should have brought. I forgot to bring this clip up, give it to Wiley. But on Sunday, somebody did ask Hannah in the presser, like, what she learned the most from her freshman year into this year, and she was like, basically learning how to use my teammates better. I'm sitting in the press conference like, I don't know if you learned that shit yet. I don't think because even in that game on Sunday, I believe was it Sunday or Thursday, she had just had I think it was Sunday. She was like a 1-on-3, and she still didn't pass the ball. She still went up for a layup. And I came here, she made it, But I don't even think she made that shit. So, but it's like she's talking about stuff that she needs to get better at, but it doesn't translate on the court all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, and I also like we all love Coach Ivy for different reasons, but she I noticed that even with Hannah, that she would take out her rotations. Like she would take out Olivia like in the middle of the first quarter, and then Hannah starts taking over the offense going into the second quarter. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's like I don't like that because now it's like I think Olivia should play the whole quarter. Why not? She your best. She is your point guard.
That's to the front. That's to the congregation, Neil.
Hey, we're gonna decide after this weekend, after this ACC tournament. We're gonna see for sure. But it's just I think I'm with y'all. Like Olivia definitely needs to be the primary ball handler, and because until and Goggles playmaking, her IQ is high, but sometimes she has big time lulls in the game where you be like,
Jay, you was talking about how she was practicing them step back threes.
Bro, listen, yo, this is another reason I love getting to the game early because you start seeing you see shit that you're not gonna see on camera. Like she was literally sitting there, she was standing there doing one-legged 3-pointers, man. She did that shit for like 5 shots straight. Like you still practicing on that shit, and then you see it in the game. She does that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it's we're gonna talk about all that Coach of the Year shit too. We're gonna get there, but yeah, man.
Also, real quick, I would like to say that this podcast kind of predicted that Ju, like once she got some rest, that she was going to go off. Like
we did.
If we want to kind of reel that in, go back a couple episodes.
I say we might have found it because I remember exactly what you're talking about because I remember before the first matchup against UCLA, they had just played Ohio State. Like I think it was on like a Saturday, and they had like a 4 or 5 day stretch in between games. And I was thinking like, all right, cool, they got this nice little stretch. They ain't got to travel nowhere. Oh yeah, Juju about to go crazy, and she did.
And you know what? We had that game on playback because we thought Ohio State USC was going to be a good game, and they beat the shit out of them.
They did. I don't even think Juju played that well that game either. That's a crazy thing.
She didn't, but she started like getting rhythm and like they kept her in the game and she started getting rhythm at the end in that fourth quarter, like garbage time. She started seeing the ball go in the basket, and then clearly that shit translated because she had 5 days rest. And I know people want to be like, well, everybody had to play, but her workload is different. When you traveling like that and your workload is go through Juju all game long, man, you're gonna be tired.
You don't playoff ball.
Yeah.
No playoff ball. Hey, who's you gonna give it to? Who else is gonna be the lead guard? I don't think Kennedy's fit for it. Not Avery Howell, respectfully.
No. Yeah, so it's like she needed that rest for going into this stretch. You know what I'm saying? Look at how much rest she has now too. Like what day was that? Was that Saturday they played? Yeah, that was Saturday. They don't play again until Friday at 12 o'clock on Friday. That's the next time they play. So look at all that rest. So this is needed going into this stretch, and you see she feeling it. She locked in on both sides of the ball. So right now, man, I'm gonna give it to Ju, man. Like her impact, you have seen her impact. Her numbers are there. It's not like she don't have impact and numbers. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? My sister going for 35. Yes, I think she gonna go for 35. Who they gonna play in that first game? It might be Indiana. They play in that first game. They probably gonna destroy. Now I won't say destroy, but they will win that shit handily. I believe for sure going into there. But Nick, before we move on, are you picking Juju for your player of the year?
I'm picking Juju Watkins, man. I'm picking Judea, man. I think these past couple games, I know that there's only 2 games against UCLA, but I think it really showed me. But also, like Ju has shown, like she can, like Ju has shown that she could play through adversity. She's shown that she could play on the road, especially like in hostile environments. Like Juju is a star, bro. Juju is. They sure don't start.
Don't get the hell out of here. Hey man, get the hell out of here.
But now, I mean, let's be real. I think Ju, especially over these, not even just these past couple games, but just over the past month, honestly, I think that she's definitely elevated her play. And it's like I said, like you got to look at the circumstances. Like she's been pretty much having to be the focal point for that team offensively all season long, honestly. And I think because of that, I think she's got to get Player of the Year.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. At the right time, like voting. Though it's not like people act like they vote at the beginning of the season. They don't, man. They don't vote. They definitely don't. They definitely don't. And before we move on, Juju definitely have all the emotion in the world. Every time I look up, she got this endorsement and that endorsement. And them fragile fans out there, people today was arguing. I was watching in the bushes. People arguing over endorsements is crazy. I just want y'all to know that. Them stands, y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all arguing about endorsements. I never seen nothing like that in my life. Like, it's something new every day. I ain't never like, who gives a shit? Your favorite player getting money, this player getting money. Like, come on, man. Just chill out. 12 different, and she only 19. That's another thing. She only 19.
19, bro. Got that generational money already. I'm jealous. I ain't gonna lie.
Y'all ain't low. Hey, you know what? Get the hell out of here.
You know what? You know what? They show. I'm cool with that. I can live with that. I'm cool with that. You're right. We're not low. We're not low, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I ain't no 5'4" woman, man. So I know we ain't low, man. God damn. These degree ads they are hilarious. All right, chat, y'all. I can see y'all gonna be live today. I can definitely tell. Y'all always are, but I can definitely tell y'all about to be locked in. Endorsements and viewership all day long. I want them to get exactly. And what conference tournament you want to start with? No, let's start with the ACC, since that's basically that's the conference that you basically watch the most, the team that you cover. Let's start there, man. What's your? Have you watched any of the game today?
I watched a little bit of Syracuse. So it's weird. I watched Syracuse Boston College the first half, and Hughes was up like 15 at halftime. And then next thing you know, like I go on Twitter and I see that Boston College ended up winning the game, and I'm like, really? Like they ended up winning the game by 3, and it's crazy because Georgia Woolley, who's the shooting guard for Syracuse, she was having a hell of a first half. I don't know what happened. I got to go back and watch the game, but Boston College found a way to win, so kudos to them. Virginia ended up playing Pitt. I didn't get a chance to watch that one, but I did predict that Virginia will win that one. Shout out to Kamora Johnson, who had another strong performance. ACC is going to be like, over these next couple of days, man, we're going to see some good matchups in the ACC, honestly, man. Obviously, like the top teams, of course, you got Notre Dame, NC State. I can't remember I think Duke's number 3 and then Florida State's number 4.
Yeah, Duke is 3. Yeah.
So,
Duke being number 3 is insane because they had a bad stretch.
We should be number 3, but we collapsed in the fourth quarter on Sunday. But that's neither here nor there. But I'll be real, man. I think the ACC, it's got to be. It might be like a tough match between them, the SEC, and the Big Ten. Is like 3 of like the best conferences as far as like conference tournament. Honestly, I think they're all gonna like give us some great basketball. Honestly, but honestly, and I'll say this too. Honestly, I mean, not even just with the ACC, but also with all the conference tournaments, like. Depending on how a lot of these teams play, I think that's going to determine how far they get in the tournament, honestly. And I think that's why a lot of these teams, they got to use this opportunity now in conference tournaments to really figure themselves out and find ways to win and establish some momentum before they do actually go into the NCAA tournament. So, that's just something to keep in mind, honestly, man. But as far as the ACC, I'm excited about it. I think we had a couple great games today. Shout out to Virginia for getting the win. Shout out to Boston College for the comeback. I think we're just getting started, honestly.
No, yeah, I definitely need to go back and look at some like condensed games of those. But I definitely see next round is going to be. Let me see. Hold on. Y'all might have potentially begin North Carolina. How you feel about that matchup?
Well, we beat them before. I think probably the biggest issue is they got a lot of size, honestly, and they love to play inside. So I think that's something that we're going to have to figure out. And I mean, as far as Florida State, I mean, they definitely have size. Obviously, we have a front court of Michaela Timpson and Malaya Williams. So they're able to get stops on the defensive end. But I'll be real, like Maria Goddang for North Carolina is a tough match, especially when she gets low post positioning inside, honestly. So that's probably going to be the number one factor that we do have to stop. And then, of course, players like Alyssa Usby as well. That game can really go either way, honestly. But I mean, you gotta look at it like this, man. I mean, we did beat them before, and we beat them on their home floor.
Y'all did a game winner. That was tough.
Here's the kicker, though. Here's the kicker with Florida State is that I know, especially a lot of people, they saw the win against Notre Dame, but the game against Duke, and I was at that game covering the game, showed me that this team is still not healthy. And I think that's going to be a major issue. And I hate it because Tanaya seems to get hurt at the wrong time of the year. Like, even for people who may not remember, like her freshman year, she got hurt down the stretch of the season, which is why she didn't play in the conference tournament or the NCAA tournament. Now you look at this situation. She got hurt like a couple weeks
Mm-hmm.
ago. She missed like 3-4 games in a row before coming back against Notre Dame. And even in the
Mm-hmm.
game against Duke, she shot 3 for 20. You could tell she's not healthy. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's probably one of the biggest things right now is, are they going to be healthy enough to not only get past the ACC tournament, but to potentially get far in the NCAA tournament? Because I've talked to like the coaches, I've talked to some of the players too. They want to get far because, I mean, Florida State hasn't been past the first round of the NCAA tournament in I don't know how long. And that's something that they definitely want to do, especially with the type of season that Tenaya is having this year. They definitely want to like prove to everybody that they're one of like that they're a real legit team. They do want to get far in the tournament, but it's just tough to call, honestly, man. So Friday's matchup is going to show me everything, honestly, man. And if they find a way to win, I'll be impressed. But like I must say, I'm not as confident, heading into this conference tournament just because they're not as healthy as they should be.
No, I understand that. Do you think now, since you say that, do you give them a chance to win this? Hey, first of all, since you said, I'm glad you said that, Lo. Seeing Timpson live, I was like, oh, yo, she was like that.
I've been trying to
she
tell
had like,
you,
I want to say against Notre Dame, I think she was like 20-16. And man, it's somewhere around it what she had. Like it was like that. Yeah, I think she is, but she's not coming out.
Yeah, she's gonna stay an extra year.
Yeah, she definitely.
I think it'd be good for her, honestly, to stay an extra year. I don't think she needs to rush. Just my opinion.
Yeah. But no, yeah, but she's a great big, man. Like I'm glad I was able to, like, just how it is, Nick. You see when you see players live, you see shit different. You just see it's like different from watching it on TV. And like she like that. She's definitely what year is she? Is she a senior?
She's a senior. Yeah, she's heading out this year too. And I've been saying it, I'm gonna keep saying it. I think she's a first round draft pick, honestly. I'm gonna be real.
Man, I gotta go back. I gotta go back and look at some more tape. Well, of course, I'm gonna watch some more games like with the ACC tournament. But man, she legit. She give people problems, man. Like dead ass. She definitely do. What do you think Notre Dame is gonna make it to the championship?
I do.
ACC tournament. You do?
I do. Who are they going to potentially go against? I don't even know.
Virginia or California on Friday.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because we were talking about. Yeah, I think they'll bounce back. Honestly, I think I know that Neil. We have some questions for Neil, but I think that she's going to have this team ready. Honestly, I think they understand what's at stake. Hannah is also a player that shows up in really big moments. I mean, for those who remember, y'all saw her last year being able to single-handedly beat NC State in the ACC championship and ended up winning that one herself. So now, when you have a healthy Olivia, when you have a healthy Sonia Citron, Maddie Westbell, Leah Tu King, like to me, I just think that talent-wise and like hopefully they can get back on track. But I'll be real, it'll probably be them two again, NC State and Notre Dame, honestly, in the championship game.
I was going to ask you that. Who you think we're going to be in there? You think NC State? So basically, you think they're going to be 1 and 2 in the championship, huh?
I think so, honestly. Yeah, I think so. Because I mean, the thing about it is that even if Florida State does get past North Carolina, which I mean they definitely have a chance to, it's just so hard to defend that guard play of NC State. When you talk about Isaiah James, Sanaya Rivers, Zoe Brooks, like they have such great guard play, and then on top of that, their bigs are really good too. Like they play really physical, so that's gonna be a tough match, honestly. So, I mean, and on top of that, if you're Notre Dame, you want that matchup, especially after what took place a couple weeks ago when y'all lost in double overtime. Y'all should look to want that matchup.
They should,
especially on the biggest stage like that.
Yeah, they definitely should want NC State or Florida State for sure. They definitely do.
Yeah, Florida State Florida State.
And NC State definitely, they guard play got to be on point. But they definitely was on point that game. They was missing free throws. They was doing their thing for sure. Cal was doing good early in the season. They were.
Just real quick, Lamar, thoughts of Kimora? I've been saying all year, I think Kimora is one of the more underrated 2 guards in the country this year, but she hasn't really gotten a lot of like attention because Virginia's not really a contender like that, especially in the ACC.
Yeah.
But if she was on a contender, honestly, you would see her talked about a lot more because I think she's just as talented as any other 2 in the country. Honestly, she's an elite 3-level scorer. She could be a great defender too when she wants to. Like she's a great all around player. I'll give her that.
I hope NC State stumbled on Leprechauns. Here's the one thing that it was a good win for NC State. The only thing was they played so perfect, and it took 2 overtimes. I wonder like how they guards is going to play again the second time around. That's the only thing. But but they still got a good chance to beat Notre Dame. I'm gonna pick Notre Dame to win the ACC tournament.
I got Notre Dame too.
I got them to win, but it ain't gonna be easy because I was listen. I'm so glad you brought up I was who brought up Cal, but I saw Cal.
I brought up Cal. Yeah, y'all, you and Love were trying to jump me the other day.
About a month ago, and they just not impressed me. Like they didn't impress me in warm-ups and shoot around. It was like acting too goofy for me. Like y'all ain't Notre Dame. Y'all being too goofy for me right now. And they just didn't look good.
Cal plays a funny style of basketball, honestly, but it works for them. That's the thing. Is like
it does work.
Play like a goofy style, but I'll be real. Like they play at a very fast pace and they get shots up quick.
They shoot a lot, but they don't. I feel like they don't. They were playing good at the beginning of the season. I remember us talking about them like, man, they should be top 25. They've been hooping, but it's like, man, as of late, they haven't looked good. And I think Notre Dame is gonna handle Virginia or Cal, whoever they got to play in that game, and then Duke gonna have to play Louisville or Clemson. Duke should be one in Louisville again because Louisville just beat them on their home floor.
I'm gonna say this honestly, I think that game could go either way depending on who they match up against, whether it's Louisville or Clemson. I mean, I know people probably.
You think Clemson can beat Duke?
Clemson's got talent. I mean, I know they're not one of the top teams in the ACC, but they got talent, honestly.
Oh man.
The thing about Duke is like Duke's defense alone is going to help them win games, but it's always like who's going to be the biggest X factor on offense. Like to me, like it has to be Ashland Jackson, of course, Reagan Richardson being the second option, but they just don't bring it on a nightly basis. And it sucks because they're both talented as hell. Like they are capable of getting like 20 plus if they wanted to. Like if the system is designed for them to do that, but I don't know honestly, man. I mean, it's tough honestly, but. I'll be real. Like, wait, are they in Notre Dame's bracket? Honestly, so they might.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are in Notre Dame. They on the same side.
They might see Notre Dame.
I
try to tell people, man. Clemson.
Oh, they beat the shit out. They beat the shit. They was beating the shit out. I turned that shit out. They was beating the shit out of Stanford. But I'm gonna tell you this though: if Clemson do beat Louisville and they fuck around and beat Duke, hey, Carol Lawson really got to come to the front of the class again, bro. That's unacceptable, bro. That's unacceptable. Clemson is 14th in this tournament, and they're 3. You cannot lose to them. Like losing to Clemson or Louisville, especially Clemson, is not going to look good for Carol for sure.
I would say though. I mean, Duke is confident heading into this tournament, especially they beat North Carolina last Thursday. Then they came to Florida State, beat them as well on their home floor. So. Yeah, I think they feeling themselves, heading into this tournament. So we might get a good performance out of them. We
should. No, we definitely should. But yeah, man, I think we both agree on Notre Dame and probably NC State being a championship. That's gonna be live. Low will be at the ACC tournament, so she's gonna see some. Hey, it's funny that Low is going to this tournament because she talks so much trash about the ACC.
Low literally said the ACC sucked, bro. And she going to the tournament.
Yeah, this shit is so funny.
I don't think I forgot, man.
She get to see Notre Dame up close and Duke and NC State and all that. I am jealous though. She get to see NC State up close, so I definitely want to see them up close. But she be killing. It'd be funny like Nick and Lo going at each other in the group chat about ACC, and Lo ain't going. Lo ain't going to get to see that. But yeah, I seen this is gonna be my shit. Fourth time seeing Juju now. I'm gonna see her 3. I should see her 3 times this weekend. She should be in a championship on Sunday for sure. Yeah. Definitely. ACC is weaker compared to the other conferences. You think so?
I wouldn't say that. I mean,
I'm gonna table that real quick. But so real quick with the awards, I ain't go through all the awards with the ACC. Player of the year was Hannah. Defensive player of the year for the ACC was Hannah, and the coach of the year was Wes Moore. That is where I want to go to real quick, and we're gonna move on. Can we get about it? But how you feel about Wes Moore winning the ACC Coach of the Year?
It's recency bias. It's only because they both tied for the best record in the ACC, and then of course you look at it, NC State ended up beating Notre Dame in that matchup. But Niele Niel is in contention for Coach of the Year overall, not even just ACC Coach of the Year. Like Niel has proven it all season long. Honestly, I mean, you got to think Notre Dame at one point. I mean, it was probably like, what, 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks, but they were the number one team in the country. Like,
yeah, bro.
I don't understand how Niel does not get picked or like picked to win Coach of the Year. Honestly, if you ask me, I mean, I think she's proven it all season long. I know that they had some bad losses against NC State and Florida State, but Niel has proven it all season long, honestly. I mean, even before those two matchups, they were undefeated in the ACC.
No, they were
literally undefeated. Like, come on now. Like, to me, Niel definitely should have won. I think it was clear as day Niel should have won it, but that's just me.
Do the coaches vote on the coaches? Somebody said the coaches do the voting.
They might. I don't know. I don't know who does the voting. That's me. I don't be knowing who behind the scenes, to be honest. It's clear as day they don't know what they're doing, honestly. Because Niel should have won Coach of the Year. Just call it what it is.
No, yeah, I was actually shocked. I think it was universally that people were shocked. Georgia Tech head coach should have won it to me. Georgia Tech. Honestly, I haven't watched much of Georgia Tech basketball.
Georgia Tech has been good. I don't know if she's getting Coach of the Year, honestly. Because I mean, let's just be real. Like, they lost to Florida State. Florida State didn't have Tanai Latson, like, or Omar Gordon.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say Niel team mess it up for her because she's had some coaching blunders. But I don't think it was enough for her not to win it. I mean, and if the voters are you going off what NC State beating Notre Dame at home, like that team played perfect. And you know what I'm saying? They still almost lost that shit. So I don't know. Why is Florida going to win the we're not even talking about the SEC yet. We're gonna get back. We're gonna get to the SEC in a second, but yeah, do you have any gripes of Hannah winning the Player of the Year in the ACC?
Shout out to Hannah. Hannah definitely had a hell of a season. You can't knock that whatsoever. But all I gotta say is, man, like when the two players were in contention for ACC Player of the Year all season long, one of them showed up and dominated the other player. And on top of that, she came back after missing about 2 weeks of action due to injury.
Mm-hmm.
All I gotta say, man. And on top of that, she led the whole nation in scoring. Like when you look at her numbers from this year compared to last year, all of them took a big lead. Now, look, I'm not saying that Hannah didn't either. Hannah most definitely did, but I get it. You know, I mean, Notre Dame was a much better team than Florida State. You gotta admit that. So I think that played a factor in as well. But shout out to Hannah.
If Florida State was sharing a portion of the ACC tournament championship, I think she probably could have had a good chance of winning that shit for sure.
She definitely could.
You know what are they number? What was they fourth in the rank in the ACC rankings?
Yeah, they finished fourth.
Yeah, if they would have finished top two for sure, probably she probably could have had a chance to win it too. I really don't got no gripe with Hannah winning Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, that's usually like what she does. So
I think it could have been her and Michaela Timpson, honestly.
But yeah.
Hannah's the more popular player. So
yeah, you know how that goes. So I definitely need to find out who do the voting for this shit because you just want to know how who's doing this voting and you know what I'm saying, is there any bias? Sometimes in this human beings, there could be some bias for sure. People are fans, regardless. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the media is a fan of somebody, period. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's the thing is like people gotta learn, like it's okay to be biased, but you gotta learn how to like put that to the side. Like
exactly, that's the problem.
Like, even for me, like everybody know I'm a Florida State guy. Tanai is my favorite player. Like, you know, I'm always gonna ride for the team, but I can also tell you that they're not one of the top teams in the country. I can definitely tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Just based off of me watching everybody else. I mean, that's just real.
Yeah, no, that is. Yeah, I think it's coaches and media. I want to know. I like finding out who in the media is doing this voting. I like to see that. Because like when you do like
voted for Westmore, that's what I want to know. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's nasty. Let's move on. Let's move on. Can I talk about that shit all night?
Let's talk about the SEC, man.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to the SEC. But for real quick, Player of the Year was Madison Booker. How did you feel about that?
To be honest, I'm not mad at it, to be real, because I didn't really have a favorite to win SEC Player of the Year. Because, and look, I mean, you can argue and say that the SEC was the best conference overall this year, especially when you look at a lot of the top contenders in the country that come from that conference. But there hasn't really been like a standout. Like there's been a lot of talented players, but there hasn't really been like a standout player to me. Where
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at them and it's like, oh yeah, they're gonna win SEC Player of the Year. Now look, Madison Booker definitely had a great year, but we also talked about her inefficiencies because she's had a lot of inconsistent games. I mean, you can talk about that first matchup against South Carolina. You can even talk about the matchup that they had against LSU. I know that they ended up winning that game, but she missed like her first 11, 12 shots in that game.
Bro, it was like she was like 2 for 14 at one point.
Exactly. Like, so I mean, as talented of a scorer as Madison Booker really is, she's definitely not the most efficient player. She can be streaky at times, which I did say that, and everybody got mad at me about it. I'm like, I'm being real. Like, watch the games, honestly. I saw people vouching for Anissa Morrow.
Yes,
I'm not against Anissa winning it, but to me, like, I just like, to me, it's like, if you're gonna win Player of the Year, like, I think you got to be like the biggest X factor for that team. And like, I'm not saying that Anissa's not like a huge, like a huge, like, impactful player for that team. I mean, she's definitely an important piece, but I didn't know if she was quote unquote the best player on that team all year long. Though. Look, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe people could disagree. And look, I mean, Anissa had a great season. I mean, you talk about, I think she had like 20 double doubles, something like that, or maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
Double. So I mean, she definitely dominated from both a scoring and rebounding perspective, and of course defensively too. I mean, especially when you look at how she's kind of like a smaller big, but I just don't know if Anissa really stood out like that to me as like a favorite to win.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
Hey, real quick to answer your question about who votes. So for the Women's Award, the National Advisory Board consists of 12 members and approximately 15 candidates are selected for the ballot. The voters are 250 sports writers and sports casters. That's a lot of fucking people.
That's a lot of
vote at.
That's a lot of fucking.
Hey, don't get me started on getting votes. Don't get me started on getting votes.
The hell?
That's crazy. That's a lot of fucking people, bro.
Hey, we need the petition for the best damn vote.
But that's crazy though too, because you know a lot of them were biased.
Oh my god,
you know a lot of them were biased, especially with the way that these writers be writing.
Yeah, bro. And that's another thing about women's hoops media is that it's becoming big, and then a lot of people. I know there's a lot of people who couldn't get it on the NBA side. They just go to the WNBA or the women's hoop side, and it's be a lot of biasness to it. Like they just be doing a lot of clickbait shit, or it's just. I'll be reading some of the articles. I'll be like, yo, no way you watching the game. There's no way you watching shit. So to have some of these people having votes, and you could even see like for the AP voting, they show you who does all the voting. And it's not that many people, but it's still like, man, I know your ass is being biased. You know what I'm saying? You're not really trying to be really truthful with it.
Let's just be real. It's the same thing. Remember a couple years ago when Asia didn't win MVP because somebody voted her fourth place?
Yeah, like, come on, man.
Same thing.
No, it is. And you see it in all sports, baseball, all this stuff. You see, like, it's these voters who just don't want to vote for shit. So with that many people, how were these decisions unanimous? yeah, that's another thing. Like, how is that even?
I don't know.
And then, like, that's crazy. But let me get to the and the coach of the year for the SEC was it Vic Schaefer? I think Vic won, didn't he?
You know what? Can't even say nothing, man.
I think that's who it was. I think Vic won, but they won the SEC. Yeah, fact check that, Wally, for us. I think it was Vic.
Yeah, I didn't even see exactly who won it, but if he did win it, congrats to him. I can't really argue that, honestly. I mean, of course, I'm always gonna go Don. I'm always gonna go Don without question, but gotta admit, man, South Carolina has not been as strong this year as they were last year, honestly. So, and plus, I think, let's just be real. Like, I mean, voters fatigue is definitely a thing, and
until it comes to Joker in the NBA. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely
Vic Schaefer.
Yeah, it was Vic. Okay, that's what I thought.
Let's be real. Like, I think anytime like you can go against South Carolina, you're gonna do it. I mean, at least from like the media's perspective. So like anytime South Carolina loses or anytime South Carolina has a bad stretch, they're ready to like pretty much throw them out of the conversation, which I think is unfair. Because I mean, look, even after the UConn game, then they dropped to like 6 in the AP poll. I didn't think they should have dropped that far, honestly, if you ask me. But that's just how it is, honestly, man. So shout out to Vic. First year in the AC, or excuse me, in the SEC. Yeah, I mean, at one point they were the number one. Actually, I think they did finish number one, didn't they?
They did. It was 15-1 in the conference, then 29-2 overall.
Yeah, so shout out to him, man. That's all I gotta say. I mean, would it be my pick? Personally, no. That's just my opinion. But hey, I ain't mad at it. Shout out to Meg. I know Meg happy.
Yeah, shout out to her for sure. Hey, Megan's at the ACC tournament as well.
She is.
Man.
That's kind of shocking to me. Like, why are you not at the SEC tournament?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask her about that. Why are you not at the SEC tournament in Greenville instead of going to the Greensboro? But anyways, we did have some SEC games today. Tennessee beat the shit out of Texas A&M 77-37. Georgia beat Arkansas 79-74. Mississippi State dubbed Missouri 75-55. And then Florida and Auburn is playing tonight, right? They on right now, or they just started?
I didn't even check that game. Dang, I forgot they were even gonna play tonight.
I didn't realize they just look like, damn, they still got one more game to go.
I don't even know if the game's over, but I would have predicted Florida would have won.
Yes, I'll predict the same thing. Check to see if that game is going or over, whatever. But the match that I'm looking forward to tomorrow, it's an 11 a.m. Eastern game, is Vanderbilt versus Tennessee.
Whew.
I know it's Thursday, you probably got to work. Find a way to have that shit on.
Florida's up by 10 and it's 16 seconds left. So
yeah. So
Florida's a better team.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, for sure. But that Tennessee Vanderbilt, who you got, man? That's gonna be
I'll be real. If you're Tennessee, you gotta find an answer from Michaela Blakes, because last time they matched up, she cooked them. And I think Michaela had made a game winner in that game against Tennessee.
I think that was that. Oh yeah, because both on the men and women's side, Vanderbilt beat Tennessee, and it was on a game winner or some type of shit like that. It was some weird ass. Yeah. They both lost in the same weekend.
I mean, luckily for Tennessee, Talasia Cooper is back. So I mean that's
which is crazy.
For her. Yeah, I know. I mean, she ended up rolling her ankle, but luckily she's healthy enough to come back on the floor, which is huge because Tennessee definitely need her presence, especially on both ends of the floor. But I think we got to look at Tennessee funny in the light, honestly, man, because heading into SEC play, they were undefeated. Like, they should not be playing in the first round. Like, I felt like they were good enough to at least get one bye, but they didn't get a bye.
They were 8-8 in conference play.
Exactly. Yo. But as I'm saying, they were undefeated heading into conference play. That's the crazy thing.
Bro. They end up being 21-9, 8-8 in conference.
That's flat out insane, honestly. But like I said, it could go either way, honestly. I mean, of course, like when you look at, that's true. You don't lose to Georgia. They got dubbed by Georgia on Sunday.
Yeah.
You don't lose to Georgia, man. That's crazy. But
no, they did.
I mean, the game could really go either way, honestly, man. I mean, Michaela Blakes is definitely good enough to be a one-woman show. But then not only her as well. I mean, I think Khalil Pierre, she's definitely been having a really strong season. I mean, I think she's one of the more underrated players in the SEC. So I think that she could definitely have a strong performance in this as well. But if you're Tennessee, you're going to need everybody to step up. Talasia Cooper, Sam Spencer, Ruby Whitehorn, like just the whole collective as a team to be able to step up, honestly, because I'll be real. I mean, even though Tennessee struggle, I still think that they have one of the best defenses in the country, especially when they do pick you up 94 feet and they do press. Like it is really hard to get out of that press. But I'll be real, man. I mean, if they can find a way to win, that'll be big. But honestly, I'm probably gonna go Vanderbilt this matchup.
I'm going Vanderbilt too.
Yeah,
when it comes to like tournament games and shit like this, when one team, because you know how it is in like tournament games, sometimes it just be hard to score. And then with a team like Tennessee, when you have a player like Vanderbilt has who can go get a bucket when the clock is going down, who can just take over, give me that team. Give me that team, because Tennessee has been looking rocky. And I'm going with Vanderbilt to win this. I mean, your prize to win this game is South Carolina, but you want to, hey, this is part of your resume for the tournament, for the big tournament. So this win will be big for them going into Friday in the SEC tournament. So I definitely got Vanderbilt winning this game. You got Oklahoma, Georgia tomorrow. You got Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and then you got Alabama, Florida.
I'm gonna pick Oklahoma to win against Georgia. I'll pick. I don't know, man. That Ole Miss Mississippi State game could be interesting, man. Because I think Mississippi State is very underrated offensively, and I think they showed that even in this matchup today against Missouri. You know what? I'm gonna probably say Ole Miss just because of their defense alone, but I think that's gonna be a close one. And then Alabama and Florida, I'll pick Alabama. I think Alabama is just too talented offensively for Florida.
Yeah, same.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, that's right. Wiley's an Alabama fan, if y'all didn't know. But out of the top 4, who you think will get upset? You think it'll be an upset before on Friday?
Hey, it might be LSU. I don't know. Oh. Alabama's a tough match, man. And on top of that, you got to think Flau'jae's not playing in this tournament.
Oh, I forgot about that. Flau'jae is not.
That could. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, they still got Michaela Williams. They still got Manisa Morrow. So they're still talented enough to be able to win. But you talk about Alabama got Sarah Ashley Barker and Zay Green on their team to elite.
I forgot about that. Yeah. That's gonna be tough.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pick Alabama for that one. I'm gonna pick Alabama to beat LSU. I might be wrong, but hey.
It is what it is. Hey, the Oklahoma-Kentucky game gonna be good. That's gonna be a rematch because Georgia Amore went off on them. But they did have those suspensions still after that LSU game, talking about Oklahoma. So that's gonna be
do they
fun
really?
game. Man, remember when Oklahoma and LSU played and they
I know that, but I didn't know they were still suspended though. That was like almost a month ago.
Yeah, so that when they had played each other in that game, it had happened right after that. So Oklahoma was still missing two of those players for that game. They still lost. It was still at home, and Georgia still went crazy. So I am looking forward to that rematch. Even though I ain't gonna be able to watch the game no way, but since it's on Friday. But who you got winning this thing?
I'm gonna go with the Gamecocks, man. I think they can win it again. It's not gonna be easy because I mean, obviously, I think it'll probably be them in Texas in the championship game. But I think if you're South Carolina, you got to get up for that matchup, honestly. And I think that Don's gonna have them more prepared, especially with matchups. I really want to see who's gonna be the primary defender on Madison Booker, as far as stopping her, slowing her down. Obviously, Raven Johnson is going to be defending Roy Harmon, and I think that's a pretty good matchup for her. But I really want to see who's going to be defending Madison Booker, whether it's, I don't know, you might pass the stretches where you put Lay on her, Malaysia for Wiley. I don't know, Papa could be defending her. I got to go back and watch their matchup from like a month ago because I want to see who they match up against Madison Booker.
Yeah, I got to do the same thing. But I got South Carolina and Texas in the championship as well. And I got South Carolina winning this thing. Now, would I be shocked if Texas fuck around and pull this shit off? No, but I definitely got South Carolina winning this thing for sure. South Carolina better win, or conversations will be had.
Now, the thing about it is Texas has an advantage, especially in the interior. And I think that played a big role in why they were able to win that matchup, or at least the last matchup, honestly. When you have players like Taylor Jones and Kyler Dacre, like their interior presence is really impactful. Like, and I think that could be an easy advantage against them. So you're gonna have to look to Sanaa Fagan to step up in this matchup. You're gonna have to look to Joyce Edwards to have a really good tournament as well, because I think that's gonna be the biggest determining factor of that game if it does happen, is the interior presence for both teams. Whoever controls the rebounding and whoever controls the paint, that's gonna be the team who wins that matchup.
And listen, everybody love guard play. Guard play is flashy, fun, but when you can't protect the paint and rebound in the postseason in any basketball, you're gonna be sent home real fast if you can't rebound that ball.
And that's the thing too, because I've been saying all year, like, I know Don misses Camila Cardoso, man. Like, just having that big body under the rim. Yeah, Ashley too, but definitely Camila, man. Like,
definitely Camila. Camila.
It's gonna be I think, like I said, I mean, like, these conference tournaments are gonna determine like how these teams do play out in the NCAA tournament. So that's gonna be a fun matchup to watch between Texas and South Carolina if they do meet in the SEC championship game.
Definitely, for sure. So you going with Big Ten. You going with South Carolina to win this thing?
I'm gonna go South Carolina. I'm sorry, Meg. I know I just big your team, but I don't know. It can go either way, but I'm gonna rock with the Gamecocks.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely. And what up, Meg? We were just talking about you too. Like, why are you not at the SEC tournament anyway?
You have the ACC tournament. You have the wrong tournament, man.
What is going on?
The team's not.
That's
funny.
Man, that's super funny. But shout out to you being there, man. I love seeing people getting these credentials and being able to go to these things. But on to this Big Ten tournament.
Let's talk about the Big Ten.
I saw some of Iowa, Wisconsin. Iowa's beating the shit out of Wisconsin. I didn't see none of the other games really. I was gonna try to go to that, and I thought to myself, my co-host from Three Chicks is well known. Oh, okay, I get it now. I'm like, damn, do I just want to sit there and watch these games on Wednesday? So I said, no, I can't do that. Sarah Williams did the transfer. Hey man, I got to see her this year live, and that was and talking to Coach Mosley. She's really good. She's definitely really good. And I don't know if I can be unbiased in the SEC. This is true. They probably will. You know how it is. You can't be in the in media row acting crazy when a certain team is scoring. It looks like you crazy, but who cares?
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at this bracket now. I think Big Ten might have the best. Might have the best tournament. Honestly, man, there's a lot of good teams here.
Yo, it's a lot of good teams.
I'm looking at them, man.
A lot of good teams. I'm gonna miss the first part of the day, but I think I'm gonna catch that last game. It's probably Michigan State game I'm gonna catch against Iowa, which should be fun. I haven't seen Michigan State live, so I'd like to see that. But first, let me start with these. I'm gonna start with the awards. Juju won Big Ten last year. Yeah, it was. Juju won Player of the Year for the Big Ten. I want to say Ray Marshall won the Defensive Player of the Year for the Big Ten. I want to say that's who won. Is that somebody fact check for me, man? It's been a lot. I've been seeing something and forgetting. I should have wrote it down.
Really?
I want to. No. It was Lauren Betts. Lauren Betts, my fault. Ray Marshall. I think Ray Marshall made the all-team defensive thing. Lauren Betts won Defensive Player of the Year.
That makes more sense.
And then Coach G won the Coach of the Year. Loaded not like that at all. But I think a lot.
When you got Juju on your team, man, that's what's gonna save you.
And I do think a lot went into that. I don't know how I forget how UCLA road trips were, but the gauntlet of a road trip that USC went through, and they only lost one game, and that's pretty much so because like Caitlin Clark was getting her jersey retired and shit, and so you know how that shit is. Yeah. Players playing, players playing out of their mind. I don't know who's saying chill out. What I do wrong? What I say chill out? I don't know, Megan. I don't know what happened. But I do think a lot of shit went into it with Coach G, and then now finding people don't like Corey Close like that. Who else are you gonna give it to in the Big Ten? Let's be honest. Who else you gonna give it? Who you gonna give it to?
People kill me because when UCLA beat South Carolina, everybody was bigging up Corey Close. Now all of a sudden Corey Close can't coach. Like, I mean, look, I'm not saying she's my favorite coach, but like Corey Close is a respected coach in the country. I mean, UCLA, even before they became a #1 team this year, they were still one of the more respected teams in the country.
Yeah, definitely. No, yeah, they were. So, I mean, and then on top of that, they beat UCLA twice. They swept it. They won the Big Ten. Did they share or they won that shit outright? They won it outright, didn't they?
They won it.
Yeah, they won it outright. So it's like, I mean, she has coaching blunders all year, but shit, I mean, I don't know who else she's gonna give it to in the Yeah, Iowa definitely should have beat UCLA. There was some questionable calls, and I went back to that game. It was definitely questionable. But
I agree, Meg. I 1,000% agree with that one. Nebraska should have definitely won last year.
Yeah, definitely should have.
We all know what happened. We all know why.
Yeah. I don't like how she threw her players under the bus. So you talking about Corey Close? Now I gotta go back to the press conference and see what she's talking about now. I gotta go look at that.
I'll be real, most of that was her fault, though. Honestly, I mean, hell, like Lauren Betts is literally a cheat code, man. Like, not many teams can defend her. Like, give her the basketball. Literally run everything through her. Like, I understand it may slow down the offense and it may not initiate a lot of ball movement, but that's still Lauren Betts, honestly, man. Like, not many players can cover her. And on top of that,
she can pass.
She can pass. That's what I'm saying. Like, so she can get open looks for Kiki Rice or London Jones or Janiyah Barker or whoever it is, honestly. If you do run the offense through her, make sure that she gets a touch every possession. There's too many possessions, especially in that USC game, where she's not touching the ball. There's no way that she's not touching the ball. That should not happen.
She need to go watch some Stan Van Gundy Orlando Magic when he had Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Yo, just run that shit through Lauren Betts. If they double her, find where they double team is coming from. Y'all got to knock down y'all shots, man. She got to touch the ball damn near every time down the court, and sometimes she just don't. It be stretches where she just don't touch the ball, or you forget Lauren Betts is even on the court. So I really don't have no. But Lauren was scared to take that shot because but man, hey, you still gotta get her the ball. Like you gotta work through this shit. You are best player, and that's why I know a lot of times people don't really fuck with bigs like that because when you a guard, you can get that ball from the inbound, and you can just control that. When you a big, you got to get position. Whatever your guards can't get you the ball. So I know a lot of shit that goes into it, but I say all to say I don't really don't mind Coach G winning Coach of the Year, man. Who else you gonna get that shit to? Especially after beating UCLA twice. And
Yeah,
so many people say UCLA was the best team in the country. So she gonna have to win that shit. And being contention too for National Coach of the Year as well. So be prepared for that. Be prepared for that.
But honestly, I mean, even aside from that, I'm looking at the bracket now. I think there should be some good games. Obviously Iowa, Michigan State. I think Michigan State will probably come out of that one. Indiana plays Oregon. I think that's the first game. I believe.
Yeah, that's the first game tomorrow. Yeah, that's the first game
Indiana,
tomorrow.
Oregon. I think Indiana's going to take that one, and then of course they'll play against USC again. Michigan State, Ohio State is probably going to be a very interesting matchup. Honestly, Ohio State is so talented.
So you hold on. So you picking Michigan State to beat Iowa?
I am, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Michigan State's good.
They are. No, they
Michigan,
are.
I think they're talented enough. Yeah. I think they're talented enough to beat Iowa. And then that game against Ohio State, I think it's going to be a really good matchup. Honestly, I think Ohio State can win that one, but they just got to lock in like throughout the entire game. They have too many stretches where they're not all the way locked in, and that's why they end up blowing leads, and that's why they end up letting other teams get momentum. Honestly, but I think Ohio State's definitely talented enough to get that one.
They are. I do think Ohio State, Michigan State can go either way. Same with Iowa, Michigan State, but it is a lot more. It's a lot. But the thing is, like a lot of people don't like Big Ten basketball a lot of times, but they do have good teams.
They do. Even before USC and UCLA came and joined the conference.
Yeah, they got good teams. So we're gonna see there. Do you think UCLA gonna get? Do you think any of the Big Four can get upset? And I'm thinking you can say I think Ohio State for sure can get upset.
They can definitely get upset. Maryland possibly can too.
Yes.
I can see Maryland getting upset. I'll probably still pick them to win their matchup, but they could definitely get upset. But the other two teams now, like the other teams gotta win their matchup.
So you think it's gonna be a collision course, USC, UCLA part 3?
I do. I mean,
who you got winning that? Who you got winning that?
I can't keep. I'm not gonna go against 12. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
It's difficult. It's so difficult to.
But it's not even that though. Like they're not making any adjustments to stop her. That's the issue. They're not making any adjustments.
They aren't. They really not make. They really aren't. I will say this. I'm definitely interested to see Indiana versus USC again because matter of fact, I was there for that one. I was there for that game, and they played a defense against Juju that really had her all over the place. But I mean, she figured that shit out in the second half. But I wonder. I'm definitely curious to see how Indiana's going to guard her again because she definitely figured out everything. So we'll see there.
UCLA losing. I mean, let's be real. I mean, last year they played in the Pac-12 championship, and USC won that one. I want to say USC's won like the last 3-4 matchups overall against UCLA.
Really?
Now, Juju.
They have. Yeah. She's been dominating them. Now I think about it, she's been dominating UCLA. So I got UCLA. Not UCLA. I got USC winning this shit again.
I got USC, man.
I do think it's gonna be.
I also want to give credit to the supporting cast at USC because I think they had a really good game in that last matchup against UCLA. I think Kiki had a really strong performance. Kennedy Smith had a really good game. TVO had a strong performance, especially as from a playmaker perspective. So if they can step up as well, I mean, of course Juju's going to have a strong performance. But if you can get everybody else to contribute for USC, then I think that's what's going to get them to win because I think UCLA supporting cast hasn't stepped up the way that they need to, and I think that's part of the reason why they began cooked recently.
UCLA, you know what? UCLA needs this win. Like they need this tournament win going into the big tournament. They need
this. Be motivated for this. If it is USC that they get, you got to be motivated for that, and you got to find a way to stop 12. I don't know why y'all are just letting her cook the way that she has been cooking.
Man, they had to bracket her. I don't understand. They should do what like Indiana did, Iowa team. Like, you got to bracket her, man. Get that ball out of her
Like
hands
it's
fast.
like, for instance, like even like when I think about the game against Notre Dame, like they threw so many double, triple teams at her, forced the ball out of her hands, forced somebody else to beat y'all outside of Juju. Like that should be your formula.
She gonna get hers regardless. Like
Yeah.
she's just that good. She gonna get her regardless. But you gotta make that shit difficult, man. She got too much energy. She got too much energy in the second half, bro. Like you gotta wear her ass down. You gotta find a way. You gotta find a way. But I'm going with USC. Will I be shocked if UCLA win? No, because it is hard. But I got USC winning that shit.
At the end of the day, they got the best player on the floor, so
they do. They do.
I gotta go USC.
I'm definitely going that way as well. It's one conference that don't get talked about at all, and I'm at fault for not watching their games all the time. Is the Big 12.
Yeah, I think the Big 12 tournament is gonna be really good. Honestly, I mean, you got a lot of tough teams out there. You got honestly people aren't talking about them enough, but Baylor's been playing really good basketball, especially at the end of the season.
They have.
I think that they're going to have a really good tournament. Then you got teams like Virginia State, I think is what it is. Or excuse me, my bad. West Virginia.
No,
West Virginia.
West Virginia. I'm looking at that. Yeah.
Yeah. Kansas State. I think they're going to be really good in this tournament as well. Even though I think Ayoka Lee's going to be out this tournament. I got to go back and check. But they should be a really good. I think they're going to have a really good tournament. Honestly, I mean, it's just crazy because the Big 12 is not necessarily as strong, like star wise, compared to like the other conferences. But they have some really good programs, honestly. So I would advise people to check out the Big 12 if they can.
I did not even get the chance to see who won these games between the first game today was UCF versus BYU. I want to say UCF won that game.
Yeah, I think UCF did. Shout out to Caleb Peterson as well. Oh yeah, I forgot TCU's in that tournament, or
yeah, TCU, yeah. Big 12 men's ball is more competitive than women's. Yes, it is. Big 12 is definitely men's is definitely more competitive than the women's for sure. I will say that.
Yeah, shout out to Caitlin Peterson, man. Had another strong performance. One of my favorite players.
Oh, you said who? What's her name again?
Caitlin Peterson for UCF.
Oh, okay. See, I'm not gonna lie, I ain't watched no game of theirs, but Lamar told me they dominated. I thought I saw that. You had Houston, Colorado. Did Colorado win that game?
I didn't.
Let me know, Wiley, or the chat. Then you had Arizona State versus Cincinnati.
Colorado did win.
Colorado won. And then you had Texas Tech, Kansas tonight as well.
They are tied up right now, 46-46 with 4:56 left in the fourth.
And who won between Arizona's
Texas Tech
and
Kansas?
And then you got Arizona State and Cincinnati was tonight. Look, this is how you know they got these games on ESPN Plus.
That's why they don't get no national coverage like that.
Bro.
That's honestly part of the reason why a lot of people they didn't watch Texas a lot before now until they got to the SEC.
Yes. And this is the first time they having a tournament too?
Who was that, Big 12?
Yeah, and this is the first time women having a Big 12 tournament?
I don't think so. I thought they had them before.
And maybe I saw something that was the first or something. Man, I'm tripping, man.
Then
I just seen so much information.
The only team that I've personally seen the most from the Big 12 is Iowa State. Insert team here.
Also, another team that people aren't talking about enough either is Oklahoma State. They've been really good.
Yes, Oklahoma State can hoop. Yes, Oklahoma State can hoop.
State's really good.
Of course, TCU. We get that. No, we used to win Big 12. So y'all had a tournament, or y'all just won outright?
I think they had a tournament. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, I'm sure they had a tournament. I think every conference has a tournament, or I would assume every conference has a tournament.
Maybe I'm thinking about football. It's so much different. Shit has changed so much.
As far as the Big 12, I think TCU is going to win it all. As far as
me too.
Conference championship.
Yes, we had to. Oh, okay. See, I don't think I've ever watched them. I don't think I've actually watched it because
if they're on ESPN Plus, how are we gonna watch it? Not everybody has ESPN Plus. That's the thing.
No, they don't, bro. I got ESPN Plus, and I forget about that shit all the time. So that's another thing. But do you see TCU, West Virginia, Baylor, and Oklahoma State is the top four? I don't know, man. There could be some upset. Kansas State is not bad. Arizona's not bad. Iowa State's not bad. You talking hoop too?
Utah,
so I don't
I
know.
forgot Utah. Utah beat Notre Dame, so
yeah.
And on
So
top of that,
can,
I'll be real. I mean, Gianna Neepkins is like one of the players that's really good too. West Virginia is good as well. Like I think they probably got. I think they got one of the most underrated backcourts in the country in Jordan Harrison and JJ Quinterly. But I think that is true, Lamar. They don't really have consistent offense, and I think that's been one of the biggest issues this year. Not even just this year, but over the past couple of years.
Man, I watch. Yeah, the games I've seen of Utah, they are good. I think I watched the game between West Virginia. I forgot the other game, the other team. This was some of the nastiest
Oh, I know
basketball
you're
ever.
talking about. It was West Virginia against Oklahoma State. I think it was them too. And the
This
game was
some
like
of the.
I think the final score was like 52 to like 35 or something like that. It was crazy.
This
Like,
was
it
some
the
of the nastiest shit ever. Oh my god! I'm like, this is why I'll be watching Big 12 hoops if it ain't outside of like the, like TCUs and shit like that.
But the
But
thing is, like, they don't really have like a lot of star power outside of like Haley Van Lith. Be real.
they don't.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. They have talent. They definitely have talent, but star power, not necessarily.
Yeah, that offense, and I love a good defensive team, man. I hate when a team is really good defensively and they offense is just that bad.
Let me tell you something. Last year, I think it was like the second round, West Virginia and Iowa played. I picked West Virginia to win because I felt like they had a way to stop Caitlin Clark, which they did in the first half, but Caitlin's just way too good, man. That's the thing.
Yeah,
and she found a way to still win that game. I was kind of upset. I ain't gonna lie, because I really picked West Virginia to win that one.
Hey, she had a crazy tournament run, bro.
She did. It was insane. Like
I get it.
I'll be real, like I'd still go back and watch that game against LSU, and I'm like, yo,
she had a crazy tournament run, bro. Like it's just so bad. Her stands are just, you can't deal with them. That makes it bad. It makes it hard to appreciate Caitlin Clark. Honestly, it's not enough. It's not enough.
Don't ask us what's gonna happen in the Big East tournament. I'm not even watching the Big East.
It's not enough.
Yeah, I'm not asking about Big East tournament at all. I'm not even gonna pay attention to that. If UConn don't win that, it shouldn't be a problem. But I think Haley won Big 12 Player of the Year. I don't know who won. Why did you check that, or anybody in chat got that for us? But man, UConn and friends for sure. That's basically what it is. UConn
Haley won Player of the Year for Big 12. JJ Quinterly for West Virginia won Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay, who won Coach of the Year? I knew Haley won.
Coach of the Year was Mark Campbell, TCU.
Oh, makes sense. Duh, makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, TCU.
Burn it down if UConn don't win. No, dead ass. Like if UConn don't win that, like come on, man. I've been on record with this, man. It's time for UConn to move on. Like everybody who was in the Big East with you aren't even there no more. It's time. Like everybody moving is changing. So what's wrong with you going to the ACC? You know what I'm saying? So figure that out.
Big Ten.
Big Ten. Shit, do something. Shit. Notre Dame is an hour and a half away, and they're not in the Big Ten.
I think the Big 12 can give them some competition. If we're gonna be real, I think they are.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on
that. That's 100% true, Kev. Haley definitely did bounce back.
She did. She did.
But, I mean, she wasn't used correctly by Kim Mulkey, which I ain't even gonna get into that conversation. But
no, Big Ten won't take them. Who you talking about? UConn?
Probably UConn, yeah.
Yeah, like Notre Dame's in the conference. Like I know their football is probably never gonna go into a conference, especially now how football playoff is. But Notre Dame will go from the Big East to the ACC, and you live in they're in the middle of Big Ten country. It's really insane. But but it's just, hey, I get it. But man, all these tournaments they're gonna be fun. Like, not saying today wasn't fun, but starting tomorrow through the weekend, all these tournaments is gonna be fun to watch. There's gonna be a lot of good games. There's a lot of people it's gonna be a lot of seating going on because Selection Sunday is on the 16th, so that's gonna be interesting to see too. But man, we want to move on to after this right now, man. I pretty much talk about everything college wise, I believe.
Do you want to talk on Rival maybe, or
we can talk about Unrivaled. Get the hell up out of here, man.
I bet.
Miak is gonna be. Listen, hey Lamar, I'll take your word for it. I will check that out.
Yeah, I do like.
I will check out stuff, but it's gonna with me be out of town. It's gonna be so much I can watch this weekend.
You got
that's
Lamar,
gonna be
I'm gonna probably go Norfolk State. Like Diamond Johnson's been cooking this year for them, and I
Oh,
think
yeah.
Norfolk State gonna win it all.
I
And
can go with you on that.
As far as the SWAC, man, I gotta go Alabama A&M. And shout out to Don Thornton, man. Got that team to their first 21 season since they went to Division I. Man, shout out to Don Thornton, man, doing her thing.
Hey, man, can we get a college basketball game back, please? I used to love college basketball games, bro. Like that shit used to be so fun. That shit. I enjoyed the new college football game that came out, but I need a college basketball game ASAP for sure. Yeah. But yeah, man, let's talk about this Unrivaled. Get the hell up out of here, man. I ain't gonna lie, this is the first week of Unrivaled. I didn't really watch a lot of the games. I just wasn't feeling it.
I went back and watched.
And you know what? It's behind the scenes stuff. That's why I wasn't feeling that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's like, man, fuck it. Like, we ain't gonna dive. Nick know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But it's just. But the Lunar Owls, man, they still doing their thing. They're 11-1. Let's see. Chelsea Gray and Angel has been dominating. They've been playing.
They're one of the best duos in the league. Just gonna be real.
You might be right, bro. The run those two are on right now is really insane. And I want to say this though. People need to it's one thing to say, you know, Fee, she's doing really good and Unrivaled. She can fuck around and be MVP next year. And I think we all said that. But then people start going off the ledge with certain things like when it comes to Angel having good games and shit like that. Like, man, just enjoy her improvement, man. Like you ain't gotta be throwing her in the same conversation with Asia, like and shit like that. Like that's just, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing people say like I've seen people say you can talk me into her being top 5 next year. Chill out. Just chill out. Like I don't know. No. Why? Like just chill out. Refs are making it unwatchable. I understand that players are cursing out refs, but they had to chill out with the text. They do.
I agree, especially with that whole Angel Reese ejection. Like I thought that was uncalled for. Like,
that was uncalled for. That first. This one we really started noticing that about that. But I think the regular season end on March 10th. March 10th. Next week, yeah. So on the last games, Rose beat Laces 58-53, and Lunar Owls beat Phantom. Hey, Phantom was actually up in that game. And then
they were up 8 at the end of the first quarter, and then BG had that dunk. They were up after the first quarter, and then out of nowhere went down 20.
Yeah, Lunar Owls beat the shit out of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
but it just also shows. I was going to say, I mean, it also just shows how dominant the Lunar Owls have been all season long. Honestly, you know, a player who I think we talked about her a lot, but I don't think we realize in how good of a year she's having. That's Skylar Dickens-Smith. Like over the past 4 games, she's averaging nearly 25 a game. Like she's been hooping for them, honestly. I mean, I get it. You know, Fee's still my MVP without question. And of course,
I think so for me as well.
Players like Alicia Gray and others, but I think Skylar is proving to everybody that she's still her. Honestly, I mean, even at her age right now, like she's still proving to everybody who she really is. But also, I'll be real, like right behind
for real. And hold on, and Lamar Brink was even playing. They could have had another big. Yo, they could have had Brink.
and Fee. Oh my god, that would have been crazy. But I'll be real, man. Like I mean, to me, like I said, I think Fee is a lock for MVP. But we gotta give respect to what Chelsea Gray has been doing, man. Chelsea Gray has been hooping, bro. The point guard, like Lo would say if she was here right now, the point guard, like she's literally been like putting the team on her back. I mean, I know that Angel Reese has been playing really well, but when it comes down to closing the game, you go straight to the point guard. She's been delivering literally every single time. And it's crazy to see them playing as well because they also been without Clea Cabo over the past, I think, like 2 or 3 weeks. So
once she was playing bad anyway.
That is true. Yeah. So I mean, I'm hoping whenever she does return, that she does like that she will be able to pick up her game because right now Rose is really playing really well, honestly. But like I said, I mean, I think Angel and Chelsea right now are proving to be one of the best duos in the league right now. Angel's definitely elevated her play, and I hope that people appreciate her too. Because I mean, she's finishing around the rim a lot better. I mean, you can tell she's playing with a lot more confidence than what she has been, you know, in the past, honestly. And I could even go and say this as well, honestly. People might call me crazy for saying it, but I'm gonna say it. I honestly do think that it could be possible that Angel Reese wins most improved player this year in the W. Like if she takes the play that she's been playing at Unrivaled into this season in Chicago, and especially depending on how Tyler uses her, like if she can average around because right now I think she's averaging around 17 and 12 rebounds a game right now.
I'm telling you, 18 and 15 is
exactly.
possible.
And on top of that, get that shooting percentage up because I think she shot on 40, 41%. If she can get to that to 45, 46, 47%, I think she could definitely be one of the front runners for most improved player.
Bro, she can't go no more. She can't go no lower, bro. I'm gonna find this, but I'm gonna find her percentage last year in the W. But it's just crazy that Rose they clinched the playoff spot already. They 7-5. They the 2 seed. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that people was asking for Nola's head 2 games into the season? Like they was talking about her. I don't know how people still feel about her as a coach, but
gotta give them time.
It's just crazy that that they even what they are right now. I didn't think they would be number 2 seed. You got Vinyl who 5-7, and you got Miss 5-7 and Laces 5-7. So the top
honestly,
4.
I'll be real. I'll honestly give it to Miss because I think Miss has gotten a lot better throughout this season, especially over the past couple weeks. But it might be too little, too late. Honestly, I think that's the thing. Is they have been playing well as a reason, but they're still not a lock to me as far as a team that could upset anybody.
I'm with you on that. So Angel shot 39% last year. Yeah, 39% last year. So
yeah,
you can't go up. You can't go up. Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. You got no choice. And she averaged 13 and 13. 18 and 15 is not out of you. She can do that. Man. And then she averaged basically two assists a game. She averaged a steal a game and half a block. I hate when that, but basically she can get to a block a game. I think she can get to 2 steals and she can do 2 or 3 assists a game, maybe even 4. You know what I'm saying? But she can definitely get it. I see. Let's see. I got Camilla winning most improved. See, the thing about most improved, man, it's gonna be tricky. But I think Caitlin gonna be improved. Angel gonna be improved. Rakia gonna be improved. Camilla gonna be improved. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna do that with the most improved next year for sure. But Angel should definitely be in it. I want to know the fire and for Rose to get Paige and Flage next year. That's how bad it was. Oh my God.
Damn.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I hear you, but I just feel like I'm not gonna ask for a coach in the offseason league to be fired. Now I might say you shouldn't be back next year, but I'm not gonna ask you to be fired in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? Like
I know Nola's job is good at this point.
Yeah, it was looking bad. Her and Phil Handy was looking bad out there for sure. But I am interested. But you definitely can tell the level of play has went up because they all can sense. They're all competitors, so they know the playoffs is on the way. They know they're trying to get their seeding. They want to make the playoffs. So it's gonna be fun to see this playoff run. I think we got 2 weeks, 3 weeks left of this.
I don't know how. I think the championship game is on the 17th, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So. Yeah, we got 3 more weeks of this. And shout out for Marina coming back. Because I still couldn't listen when the report came out, that shit said 2 weeks, man. I had to go back and look that shit said 2 weeks. And that's when the calf injury, you never know with a calf. You know what I'm saying? And they had announced about a month ago that she was practicing again. So shout out to her coming back for her saying her and Skylar was going at it. That shit was fun to watch. So I went back and saw some of those highlights. So man, so it's gonna be. I'm with you. I think Fee is going to win not coach of the year, the MVP. I don't know that whole first team and second team that's going to be hard. That's going to be difficult. That's difficult right there. I don't know how you're going to do that.
They're not letting nobody really vote like that, or no, they're letting the national media vote.
Yeah, they're not letting all of us vote. So yeah, so.
But let's just call it what it is. I mean, and I even told y'all this too. Nobody's covering Unrivaled like we are. We've been really breaking down Unrivaled all year.
I'm telling you, they're not, bro. I'm with you.
You don't hear nobody else talking about Unrivaled but us. Find me another podcast who's really been talking about Unrivaled.
And we've been watching games with proof. We got proof. You know what I'm saying? Of us watching games. So, man, it is what it is. So it's we would love have been one of the voters for that, but it's only the first year, so we'll see how that. I know they've been listening to different, listening to us and giving feedback. So we'll see how it is for next year. But yeah, man, it's been fun. It's been a lot of women's hoops going on. I don't even know who won. I don't even know who won Unlimited. I don't even know who won that shit.
I don't even know who won. I can't keep up with the teams because they change it up every week.
Yeah, so that's another thing I had to get used to. I'm not used to that whole pushing the team up type shit. So, but real quick, chat, man, how y'all been?
I mean, shout out to everybody who's been playing in Athletes Unlimited. Shout out to everybody who's been locked in with them.
The games I did watch, it was fun. It was some good hoops. It was interesting to see. But I mean, and real quick, chat, man. As we get up out of here, man, have y'all been enjoying Unrivaled? It seemed like people were, and then they slowed up with it a little bit because of how
I think the hype has died down a little bit, but it's still good basketball to me.
Is it too long?
Like, I don't think it's too long. It's about a little over a month.
Yeah, I don't think it's too long either. Yeah, I don't think it's too long. I do think stuff will have to be changed. Rosters, had to be more players. I think going forward, players have to have commitment. Like, bro, we're paying you. Like, I get that you might have prior engagements. You can't do it then.
I know, like Sabrina was in Miami one weekend, then in Paris the next weekend, and come back. Like,
and I don't think she's playing. Is she out now for the rest of this whole thing? Now I think she's out. So it's like I was seeing. So you gotta Unrivaled is cool, but the narratives get switched. Oh yeah, I mean, you know how it is. They seeing their favorite players hooping in it, but it has been crazy narratives coming from Unrivaled. People gotta take it with a grain of salt with it being 3-on-3. My only worry are injuries. How do you?
I can see that. Yeah.
But you gotta worry about injuries even if they play overseas.
That's true too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
I mean, that's the thing. Like, if Kathy would just open up the pocketbook, man, and just pay these players, man, so they don't have to play.
Yeah,
during the offseason.
That's the only reason That's the only reason we got Unrivaled. That's the only reason. So they can get paid more and not have to go overseas. So, but you're gonna have to. They got enough people, investors in it to the point they can add roster spots, and if you have to go up or pay a little bit more, you can. So, but you have to go up the roster spots because injuries is going to happen. Then you got 3-on-3 full court, even though it's not a regulation court, it's still 3-on-3 full court. So you gotta increase it. You got to. You definitely have to increase that for sure. But man, it's been fun basketball for me. I've been enjoying it, especially doing the playbacks with everybody, and that's been fun. So we're gonna ramp up for the playoff. Kathy wants to expand it, but afraid to open up. Breach.
Oh man,
I know, right?
Just wait till this off season, man. After this W season, it's going to get real interesting, especially when they try to renegotiate that CBA deal or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's going to be. I hope it don't. I hope it don't get to the point it'll be a lockout because I don't think the W can afford a lockout. I don't give a damn if it's for a month,
man. Especially with like a lot of these star players and their leverage, they're gonna be asking for a.
Oh, they are. So it's like I hope they get that shit done because I don't want no lockout for sure as a fan, but I think as a company, you do not. Do we get a lockout? I think that's what I'm saying. It's possible. I just don't think the W can afford that.
Well, I mean, the W season is already like 8-9 months anyway, so they might have enough time to figure something out between like October and then the next May. So.
They should. You should. Matter of fact, you should be looking at shit now. Like negotiations and figure out what you want should be starting now anyway. Like this is what we're looking at. This is what we need. Lockout has killed momentum. Yeah, every single time. Even though the last NBA lockout, we had
it was pretty good hoops, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It was.
Yeah,
that lockout after 98 really did kill the NBA because you had Jordan retire and you had a lockout. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that kind of fucked it up a little bit. But that second one. The second one when the season started on Christmas. That shit, the off-season games we got from players pulling up was lit. It was
KD had like 66 in the Garden, or not in the Garden at Rucker Park.
Yeah, like it was hooping. It was hooping.
Remember Kobe and James Harden went at it. One of the
there was some good hoops. It was some good hoops, but you ain't lying. But the W just they can't afford that. You don't want to be losing that. You don't want people saying, "Well, see, we told you about the women this and that." You don't need that. So, but you need it. Though.
Also, I mean, you gotta be real though. I mean, like these players are really helping expand the league. So, like if you're like the Asias of the world, the Fees, the Stewies, like you're gonna want more on us. I mean, hell, we saw how they had to fight to get charter flights.
Yes.
So It might get nasty. I don't know with this with the lockout. I don't know.
I always say it, man. Look, before the year before the Aces won, man, players they didn't have proper security, man.
They did.
Like you could just walk up to players after games, and it wasn't just so certain things just has to happen in this new CBA for the players. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, everybody ain't making Asia and Caitlin money that they can have their own security.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not making that type of money. Everybody's not getting Nike money. Everybody not getting money like Angels so they can have their own security. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not making that type of shit. So you need that. The league gotta provide that shit. Like having your own hotel room. What? Why that should even have to be a thing. I shouldn't even be sharing. You know what I'm saying? Sharing a hotel room is crazy. Like when I go out of town for work, I don't be sharing rooms.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, but I don't want to go off to more of a tangent. I just know we don't need a lockout for the W. We don't need that. Get that shit done properly for the ladies for sure. Man, anything else we could have? I don't have no player of the week, man. I forgot. You know, I'm still thinking it's February.
I had a player of the week, man. My player of the week was Kiki Iriefin, man. Shout out to Kiki. I mean, we talked about it earlier. Had that strong performance against UCLA. I know that we've been on her ass a lot this year, but I think that was probably one of her bright moments throughout the season. So shout out to Kiki.
Yes, I can go with you on that one. That's a good one. But yeah, man, this was a great episode. I'm glad we got it in. We had to postpone it yesterday, but we here. Low. Hope little man get better. If you're still in the chat, man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all been in here y'all really locked in with us for sure. You know, even though y'all fave ain't here, y'all still locked in. We held it down.
We can talk hoops without. I mean, don't be wrong. I mean, Low definitely brings a different dynamic to the show. But we can talk. We can still talk hoops over here, man.
We definitely can talk hoops. But man, enjoy these tournaments. If y'all gonna be at the ACC tournament, say what's up to Low and Meg. If you're gonna be at the Big Ten tournament, if you see me, say what's up. Don't be shy. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk, take a photo out, whatever we got to do. But, man, just enjoy some hoops. And real quick, we do got Selection Sunday coming up. We will have a show tournament thing, like challenge, so will be some prizes and everything. Are you going to be at a Big Ten tournament, Lamar? Or are you at the ACC tournament? So if you see Low and Meg, say what's up to them. But we will have a show tournament where y'all can sign up. Free entry. You're gonna be prizes. We're gonna pick our bracket on the show as like a show bracket. We're gonna pick that, and it's gonna be some fun. I can't wait, man. I love March Madness. This shit's amazing. Honestly, it's gonna be so fun.
Not even just March Madness. We got Unrivaled Championship coming.
Yeah, it's so much.
This is really the best time for basketball.
It's a good. We're gonna have a tournament, and then we're going to W training camp. Well, we got draft and then training camp and then the season starts. So man, there's a lot of shit going on. You know where to follow us everywhere on the internet, on Twitter, on Best Damn W Show on TikTok, on Instagram. You can follow us. You see our handles. You follow us on Twitter. We're very active on there as like always. For those who don't know, and on YouTube, the network Sin Create Media, you can find Best Damn W Show there as well. And also, man, listen, if you like NBA or men's hoops, uncommon commentators, man. We got Antoine and Garrett and Wally on the ones and twos. Matter of fact, Wally be popping up. He be on there talking with them. So check out that show as well.
How about for them? Nah, it's playing.
Yeah, right. Wally's having the background tonight, but man, let's get out of here, man. We about an hour and a half, man. It's been a joy. It's been a fun for episode 29. Wally know what to do, man. Let's get up out of here.
They gave me my theme music.